Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. See, I thought I'd let the music play just a little bit. It is one of my favourite tracks from, I think it's from Darkest Tower. Well, it's from Hearthstone 2. See, I think it's definitely Hearthstone 2. It's either Hearthstone 2 or Hearthstone 3, but I'm going to say 90% sure it's Hearthstone 2. But it's one of my favourite tracks. I should know I probably listened to them a good couple thousand times just from these streams now. But here we are. We'll begin going here in just a moment with War in the Pacific. Turn 70 against the historical game, which is going to be really good. How you doing there, Iceycrome? Good to have you, my man. So, Alexander, because of you, I got Warplan Orange. It is a nice game and good practice. Yeah, Warplan Orange is good. It would be a fantastic game. It's a shame that there's no, like, real graphical modifications for the game. I mean, that would, like, just remove a lot of the dust from that game there. How you doing there, No Name? Good to have you, my friend. Okay. So we'll remove the veil, and we'll take a look over here then. Should be an interesting one, really. Should be an interesting one. I mean, I'm going to be especially... China's going to be very interesting. China's always interesting. When it... well, until it's not really, but it usually is. Flying Tigers, will you be my Valentine? See, this is what I love about, like, Matt. He's so serious, at least he seems so serious. And then I hear things about him singing, and then he comes out with, like, the strangest, like, end-of-turn names sometimes. I'd love to know how he comes up with them. Like, some of them are just fantastic, to be honest. But I'm just left here sometimes thinking, like, where does that name come from? Oh, dear. Let's see, how many people go on the, stream here at the moment? Alright, 14, 16, there we go, 16, that's nice. It's gonna wait a little bit longer for a few more people to get in, and then we'll get going here. Just gonna bring the game back up. Hello there, Paul. Glad the movie is about to start. To be fair, it really is movie length, isn't it? How you doing there, Slenderman's Land? Good to have you, my friend. How you doing there, AT? Good to have you, my friend. And Epic Duck, good to have you. Yeah, I'm going live earlier. The reason being I'm going to go ahead and play A Fistful of Toes free with my little brother later on tonight. So I thought I'd just like push this a little bit further forward so I can do that. I'm just learning the rule set at the moment. I'm going to be using a Soviet motor rifle company and I think a couple T-80s. So we'll go with that then. Okay, we've got a good few people in here then. So we'll go forward and take a look at the turn then, shall we? Turn 70. Flying Tigers, will you be my Valentine? Courtesy of the big man himself. Speaking of the big man himself, I watched The Death of Stalin last night. That was a really good film. Like, it went surprisingly quickly. The film flows like butter, really. You don't feel like you've sat for nearly 2 hours. It's such a good film. It just flows. Like, Steve Buscemi is just amazing. The cast was great. I had a good Christmas, thank you very much. I am at that point now when I'm deciding whether or not if it's sad to go out to a pub on your own. So the thing is, I have friends, but a lot of them, they like a good drink, and I'm not a big fan of, like, late night drinking. So I'll have to just, like, bite the bullet on that one. Indeed, it is a good movie. Really, really good movie. I just like it when they're actually in Stalin's, I forget the name of it now, mausoleum, and I forget who plays the new General Secretary, and then obviously Buscemi, he like says, oh, we'll make it part of the ceremony, so he like steps forward, and then he steps to the side, and the General Secretary's like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, such a good one. I know. I blame it on the fact that I used to be a pub manager for like near enough 2 years. I don't know. It just takes me back, and I'm just like, I can't be arsed. Oh dear. Okay, quite a quiet night phase so far. So we are reporting what will probably be a submarine in that area near Truck. Now the moonlight here is still 0%, so we are looking fairly handy. I don't think it's terribly likely that we will be spotted. He may spot us, but he might not have terribly good information. We're going to have presently the 4BB bombardment of Ambon. Now, it is at 0% moonlight, so it's not going to be entirely fantastic, but hopefully we might have some decent results. We're going to bombard Ambon a couple more times, really. And then we'll be pulling out. Submarine... No, this is actually attack on the submarine over there. He's still yet to move his submarines there, really. Drinking alone is what separates the men from the boys. I already go out for, like, meals on my own sometimes. I'm such a loner. Oh, here we go. So we have Hyuga. It's just some... yeah, it's one of these things, isn't it? It's like... You can't wait for somebody else to do anything all the time. You got to do it yourself sometimes. Oh, Zukov. Oh my god, I loved... Who was the guy who played Zukov? He was so amazing. You should see this house. There you go, we have the battleship Issei. Issei? Issei. Yamashiro. What I like is the fact that we are firing the main armament, and we are also firing the secondary armament, and the secondary armament is no joke. I mean, it's the main armament of our light cruisers, so it's not exactly a joke. Jason Isaacs. Yeah, he played a really good Zukov. I just love the first time you see Zukov, and he just walks in and then chucks the coat aside, and it's such a fantastic entrance. The film was really well done, really well scripted, well casted, sorry. Do you plan to use the Hyuga Fusaya Issei and the Yamashiro as a CVBB? I mean, I do, because I think they actually would serve a greater use like that. Okay, so we inflict 245 casualties. Not a great deal, but considering the fact that this is Moonlight 0%, it's not too surprising. But this is still good numbers. 245 taken, 8 non-combatants destroyed, 2 squads destroyed, 9 disabled, 15 disabled, 2 disabled. These are still good. You can see then, so F102 Pete Atin as supporter for Hyuga. For Issei, oh, that's what was fired at Issei, okay. Okay, so Hyuga and Issei's bombardment was probably more accurate. Doesn't seem as if the others had their shots guided by aircraft. But we could try to fix that. A few hits on the actual facilities there. Very nice, very nice. What I plan to do, I'm going to have another bombardment of Wankao again, which is very nice. What I do plan to do at Ambon is, well, from the landing at Balikpapan, we did have the heavy cruiser. Was it Mayoko? I can't remember if it was Mayoko or Kumano. Oh no, Kumano's right there, so obviously it's not Kumano. Might have been Mayoko. But anyway, I'm going to say Mayoko, or whatever the name of the heavy cruiser was that landed at Balikpapan. And I'm going to have her run a fast transportation mission to carry supplies into Ambon, I reckon. The reason being she has the armor to potentially survive the trek. But I'd like to get some supplies into Ambon, and then we can go ahead and begin to, well, try and drive them out, really. Oh, only one spotter needed per task force. Okay, that's good to know. I wasn't entirely sure if it was per task force or whether it was per ship, actually, because obviously you do see that the aircraft was acting as a spotter for an individual BB. But that's good to know. Yeah, so obviously the Moonlight is going to be the big determining factor on effectiveness, really. I suppose detection level to a degree, but I think Moonlight has a big impact, obviously, on the bombardment. But we can afford to bombard at Ambon a good few more times. The only real thing we have to watch out for is really where his carriers are. I mean, obviously I don't know where they are to the south, but we've got to try and find them. Okay, so 268 casualties, 1 destroyed, 431. So, I don't know, I mean, we were firing, what were we firing at here? So, we fired upon the 100th and the 86 Chinese cores over here. How sake you use for each episode? How much sake? I mean, sake, oh god. Oh, how much sake, yeah. I don't know, man. I've got like an internal combustion for an internal combustion engine for a computer, so as much as it can take, really. How much supply can a heavy cruiser carry? I'd have to double check. Not really use them for that role. I'd have to check their cargo, but a few hundred, I'd imagine. More than likely 200, 300, 400, something around that sort of area. Which is still a good amount. You consider it's not the largest unit, so it should be a fair enough amount. Oh, posted that only one was needed. Well, that's good to know then. At least we can set more then to naval search or potentially ASW. Right, so Sturgeon attacking the sub-chasers CH-14 and 15. Yeah, I'd have to double check. I think the light cruisers can carry more, but I'm not entirely certain. I think it's the light cruisers that can carry a fleet of 400. I don't know about shock attack. I don't think shock attacks are good, but Awaki Maru goes down there, and that's a shame. So she was the one that was previously hit by a torpedo. I do hope that she actually did unload all those men. She was in port unloading men, so we might have to bite the bullet on a loss there. That's quite surprising that she went down there. That is quite surprising, but I suppose it happens. We did see a report about flotation failures, so that would be why then. So that would be unlucky then, really. Moving into the day phase. A little bit late on the mark on that one. But as far as it goes for Wang Kao, we're going to keep on bombarding, really. Once the moonlight increases, we'll have more effective bombardments. But yeah, we're going to keep on bombarding until we really reduce the 100th Chinese Corps to a sufficient degree, really. There's no rush on it as such. Obviously, the sooner the better. Right, so I don't know why he... Okay. He might be picking up on the... Right, we do see more ships out there. He might have picked up the combined fleet, I should say. But he won't know where it's going. I don't suspect he'll know where it's going. If he suspects where it's going, then, my god, he's got some really good foresight. That's with the moonlight. I mean, we did actually sink a ship last turn, so it's not been too bad, really. Not been so bad. There we go. Yeah, it's only really the 100th Chinese Corps that's a problem here. How you doing there, Racer? Good to have you, my friend. So we've got 33 of you in the stream here at the moment. Can I ask each of you guys to like the video? It does help the channel grow. As YouTube is... I don't know, they're clamping down once again. Like, my channel can't decide if I've got 7,070 subscribers or 7,030. It seems to be jumping up and down. So they're getting rid of accounts again, aren't they? When will Singapore fall? Well, we might have the reinforcing division here. I think they began March, and they might be here tomorrow. They might be here today, tomorrow, or maybe the day after that. I can't remember what their progress was. I think in regards to Singapore, I am pulling more engineers to that area. It would be nice to potentially have another division, perhaps. But we'll see. Right, submarines near Wake, as we know. That was weird they reported as Allied CL. Attacking Allied CL, that's obviously not a light cruiser. I was a little bit worried there. Right, 3 Allied ships. The Glen from the submarine is actually doing a really good job there. Right, okay. We should see the air mission over Changsha. Indeed, I have faith. Thank you very much, Fanatic. Much appreciated. Okay, here we go. We are sweeping Changsha. So it looks like he is, in fact, not contesting the skies over Changsha this turn. Now, I should have the other Ki-43s at Clark ready to transfer over to Hankow this turn. So if that's good, I can actually unify the Oscar force into a single sweep, which I would very much prefer. Okay, there we go. It's going fairly well, Apollo. We haven't really had too much in the way of conflict. We bombarded at Ambon with the 4 BBs. We bombarded at Vankal, which was okay. About 250, 260 casualties inflicted on both bombardments. Has he remembered to issue orders to all units? I always forget to change course. I'd say it's the fact that I'm talking about it. It's really good for committing to like long-term memory. With that, and I do have people to remind me of something. It's the reason why I predominantly do these streams in 2 parts as well, so if I miss something in the first stream, somebody's likely to point it out, or I'm likely to remember. So it's always nice. I kind of like use the 2-stream system as like an insurance policy, really. Just need a double Yamato. I will be uploading the next Mariana's episode today, as well. Either today or tomorrow. But it's ready. It's uploaded, I just need to decide when to release it. Okay, so he's still hanging around Busuanga. We did have these ships retire to Hong Kong to go rearm, so we'll come back in here once they've been rearmed, refueled, and then we'll deal with Busuanga and all these patrol boats. Okay, it's a good thing he's not contesting, because I do not like when Sally's going unescorted, but this is how the system works. Like, you can have good coordination, you can have bad coordination. Coordination can be all over the shop sometimes. How you doing there, John? Okay. The good news is we are scoring airbase supply hits. Oh, hello. So he's moving forces along the road. Now, they're looking towards this area over here, which is actually good. Oh. Oh, hell yes. Okay, that is really interesting. Now, that could actually be... So we see these troops are marching over here. We see troops marching over this way. I wonder if he's actually increased the numbers over here, but this is something to bear in mind, because this is actually... I think this is actually a major road. It could be units moving across via rail. But I'm going to have to take a look at the numbers here. I'm hoping that this is actually no additional units here, but we'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, sweeps going first is really good. They're going in and escorted again. Supposedly... Oh no, 9 runway hits. Yeah, we can't give up on bombing Changsha. There's a reason why he's trying to prevent us from bombing Changsha, and the reason being that it must be having some impacts. It's one of these things, we can't allow ourselves to be just really pushed around before, well, basically always on the reactive side of things, can't always be reactive. Right, I think there was 8 units at Hengyang last turn, so that's going to be interesting to take a look at. I mean, I can't help you there, Slander, but you know what the obvious... That's not good. But yeah, that's not good. You know what the obvious choice is. So 2 transports lost. I mean, that was actually fairly good transport. That's quite surprising. She was moving out at cruising speed as well. Ooh, we're not having a great deal of luck today. They shouldn't have been bombarding either. I must not have told them to not. Yeah. Unfortunate. They must have still been unloading. But I don't understand why they're still unloading. They weren't even meant to be here, actually. Oh, these are the, Right, it's a different force, that's why. Yeah, these are the guys carrying the aviation. Right, that makes sense. Akikaze took a lot of bloody hits there. See you later, dude. Wan Kao, I mean, this is it. We do have more AV, but just because we have more AV does not mean it's ready yet. I think Wan Kao is ×3, so even though he has around about 300 AV, we have near, I think we have about 840, 850, something like that. It's still not really enough. I'd like to reduce the 100th Chinese Corps significantly. Yeah, you can see that they have about 300. With the ×3 terrain and probably the fortifications that he has, it's not really going to be wise. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these APDs, if we lose them, it is a shame, but they are very good at their job. The thing is, there won't be terribly many future campaigns that we land under such conditions, really. Okay. I do look forward to when we take this city. I really did underestimate it, really. So let's skip forward. Okay, so we're the ones who come out worse this time. Yes, okay, so 861, 377. I do believe Wankao is times 3 terrain, so we would get butchered if we attacked. And here we go, Allied bombardment at Balikpapan. We will have our own shock attack, but you can see that the aviation units have arrived. So that's good, 26,150. Right, here we go, our shock attack would be 4th Division C detachment, go ahead, and Balikpapan will be ours today. Banzai.
Greetings, everybody. How's tricks? This is Orphan Anne from Radio Tokyo, saying hello to all of her dog faces and boneheads wandering the Pacific Islands. Before we start the music, the Japanese High Command announced today that the ever-victorious forces of the Japanese Empire have captured Balikpapan.
I love those. Absolutely love those. It's been a long time since we heard one of those, so that's really nice. Okay, so you can see fatigue morale experience. So we lose 56 men here. Well, actually, we don't even lose them. These are just disabled. And did they surrender or were they forced out? Oh, they retreated. Okay, defeated units retreat. But he's suffered 886 casualties here. 17 squad destroyed, 2 disabled, 48, 1 disabled, 11, 23, 3. Yeah, so how many guns did he actually have? Yeah, Radio Tokyo is back. All for now. Yeah, I thought level 2. I wonder if he actually did build that up or whether it was at level 2 fortifications to begin with. So he's lost around about 2/3 of his guns there. 34 guns and he lost 23. Not too far off. Yeah, we can basically march on Samarenda. It would be a shock attack, but it's a shock attack into cleared terrain anyway. We do have overwhelming force there. So we'll take a look at the state of the regiment. Perhaps a day rest to burn off some of the actual fatigue, but we'll see. I don't imagine they've taken much there. They're pretty much in really good shape, considering that, yeah, there was more men actually lost on the unloading process. Right, there we go. So that is a good victory for us there, and we have secured Balikpapan. Well, Balikpapan. And we'll take a look at the actual state of the facilities there, but it does mean that we actually have we actually have a proper source now of fuel in the area, which is very nice. So I'll be taking Tanner as well. I always hope that he has some aircraft at some of these islands. Yeah, he lost a lot of his forces there. So they will be... I mean, they'll contribute to the defense of the actual city, but it's not going to make much of a difference. Oh, they're retreating. Interesting. I believe we should be landing there at... is it Brunei? Can't quite remember. Sendai expands the port to size 6. That's good news. Yeah, quite a few banzais today indeed. Yeah, China is the one I want to take a look at today more than anything. That should be interesting. So pretty good results. We didn't really lose... Well, I say that. We'd lost 2 transports, which is a shame. Both of them to flooding as well, unfortunately. Ideally, he won't know about that. He might hear the actual noises, but I'm hoping he doesn't. I'm looking forward to the day that I can get rid of these VP losses. Just need to get the forces. So we have the Yokohama KUT-1 detachment. 45th, 91st arrives at Tokyo. There we go. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay, what I want to take a look at first then is Nanyang. Fuck off. Fuck off. Oh. Oh my god. No way, Zara. Just no way is our... Yeah, I can't even... Oh my god. Oh my god. That is good news. That is exceptionally good news. Jesus Christ, so I'm almost in tears at how good that is. That is just phenomenal news. The armor's not too far away either. I still got... I mean... I think we do seriously consider dropping the paratroopers in the following turn. Or potentially the turn after, but I think we very seriously consider dropping the paratroopers in this time frame now. We're not too far away from the actual scheduled date of the 19th, but we begin to cross today. At least we have... I expected the, let's see, so the 104th Division is here. I expected them to arrive in time. But this is just momentous. Absolutely momentous. One unit there. I mean, I've got to assume that he will have information. He may not know the strength of our units. He will see us more than likely beginning to cross the river. But the thing is, it really does depend. He's probably going to see it, but the thing is, well, it's going to take him 2 days to arrive. I mean, if they go any further, I mean, if we drop the paratroopers, then maybe, I don't know, this is actually really... I think either way, this is good news. It's a shame that they weren't marching on Nanyang already, but he might have seen that. But either way, this is really good news. Alright, so you can cancel that movement there. 79.55 is obviously not Nanyang. Yeah, it's down here, isn't it? So we'll cancel that movement there. Wow. I cannot believe how awesome this is. Right, and we'll arrive here tomorrow. I'll see you later then, deepicduck. Have a good one, my man. We're marching on Nanyang. He's going to be in for some... Well, he's going to have to enjoy the whirlwind soon. How far away is the 38th? So the 38th isn't too far. They're going to be crossing. They're going to be skipping the corner here, really. Cutting the corner and arriving there. So the 104th Division will arrive in that hex tomorrow. So... it depends. We might be able to have them arrive at the same time. But the actual tank regiments, let's see. So had we had them begin marching there, but this is going to be... So 60 miles per day. So they'll be here tomorrow as well. You're going to be very happy with that, Infinite. But he's actually moved half of the strength out of Nanyang to here. Round about half. I think that's legitimately what we were looking at before. We have one unit over here at Shaoyang. There's now 6 units over here. These guys remain over here at Changsha. These units remain static. We have the 12th, 15th, 6th and 4th Brigade in position. I do think we will march, indeed, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping, I'm going to pray that he doesn't have the information here, but I imagine he will see the movement. You know, I don't know why. I do not know why. I don't think... He might be moving via rail. I don't know. I don't know. He's going to regret that. He may seriously regret that. If they're in... I don't know. They can't be moving via rail. They must be marching. But then no. No, they can't be... No, they won't be marching, will they? Is he in rail mode? We didn't see a movement tick. Maybe we missed the movement tick, but... we did... I'm sure as hell we didn't see no movement tick. Possibly so. Oh my god, I can still feel my heart going here. Oh yeah, he really does not have anywhere near the amount of aerial reconnaissance that we do. So I think what we will do then is we will bomb Shangtan. Yeah, this is what I mean. Rail would be faster, so maybe there was a movement tick here and we missed it. Which would make sense considering that we didn't have units actually here, but considering the amount of detection level, that's quite surprising. He must be marching, It must have been that we missed the movement tick, but I found out really... What kind of roads is it? It's major roads. Yeah, rail would obviously be the winning. Yeah, I mean that would just, if they were on the rail line, it would be just, I don't know. I can't even have words for that. It'd be amazing. But this is the best news that we could have possibly have had. The timing of this is just incredible. So I think, and considering the fact that we have 5 out of 10 detection here, 7 out of 10 detection over Chikiang, we will land at Chikiang and Tayon. Or Tayon. Either today or tomorrow. But we will land within the next 2 days here. I mean, if we take a look at this, so... It's major road to Hengyang, so it's going to take us 2 turns to march there. Wow. I think what we might have to decide then is, let's take a look. So that's wooded there. If the Imperial Japanese Army and the Special Forces paratroopers pull off this operation, then this will become the biggest upset in THG's military command and lead. Well, I mean, it might do, indeed. I mean, I was pessimistic about our chances when this was at 8 units. Like, we would have made it across, and obviously would have had to fight for the beachhead, but the fact is that, I don't know, we might have a chance. I mean, considering there's 96 guns, we have 414 guns here. Not that guns make all the difference, but it's a good emphasis on firepower, really. I mean, we have 26,000 frontline troops there. It's not the best odds. I mean, we have, what, 1550 assault value. There's a chance that we might be able to break him. I'm not going to say a huge chance because I don't know what the qualifications are, but it could be done. I think Shock Attack gives us a additional multiplier. I don't know. We might have the potentially have the air power bomb Hengyang. Is either Hengyang or Xiangtan. Xiangtan might be the better idea, considering that we could try to slow down reinforcements. That's really good. And we do have the 104th Division. We have 2 tank regiments and the 51st Reconnaissance Regiment behind. So that's over 100 armoured vehicles there. The 104th Division's on its way as well. So they can continue on their march. So they'll arrive tomorrow south of Hengyang, and then they'll continue their march into Hengyang. So they should arrive theoretically at Hengyang in... I'd love to say 2 days, but 30 a day. They might be just shy of Hengyang. But that would still be reinforcements very quickly. Wow. I mean, 67 planning is very good. So I think what we will do then is we'll change all of the actual headquarter units to plan for Hengyang to actually... I mean, this is it. We may, with the actual... This is really interesting. So we have the 57th Infantry Brigade over here. The good news is we will have fighting across here as well, so that should draw some more supply up this way. I'm not entirely sure how strong that unit is. I might seriously consider that it... Well, considering that it is a clear hex terrain, I might go for a shock attack. Which is actually quite bold for me. Normally I would go against shock attacks without having the information, but if it's anything like this number, well, the units over here that we forced to surrender, it shouldn't be too bad. But even in clear terrain, we probably have the advantage there. We'll be able to see what the supply situation's like over here at Ichang as well, actually. Okay. I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked. Honestly, I don't know what he's doing, but he's definitely marching. So, I'm gonna say he's marching out of Hengyang towards Kuei Lin, but it's so strange. I don't know why he's marching. But then, no, he can't. He's not marching, is he? He's just moved this unit over here. I mean, perhaps he's seen forces marching. Perhaps he's trying to set something of a bait, but it does make me wonder, will he march his troops immediately to Hanyang? If he delays for a single day, it could make all the difference. But, well, this is it. I mean, oh, God. Yeah, I think what we do is we potentially bomb these forces over here, considering there's 55,000, 159 guns, 28,000 there. He's more than likely to send all these forces down here immediately. He's more than likely to send all these forces to Hanyang immediately. Well, yeah, I mean, the sheer timing of this is just ridiculous. The good news is we do have the armor from Changsha on its way as well. Now, they've reached the area of secondary roads here. So they're about 13 miles into that. I think they move 30 miles a day along secondary roads, I could be wrong. At least creating a beachhead on Vital would... Well, this is it, yeah. I mean, if we can actually get in there against that force, there's a chance that we could potentially kick them out. It's not very likely, but even if we... I mean, if we cross and we're facing that force rather than a larger force, we'll take less casualties and be in a better position, really. And we'd have a division to reinforce quickly afterwards. We'd have a... I mean, you take a look at the amount of vehicles here. I mean, that's just shy of 1,000 vehicles. Obviously, not all of them tanks, but a good deal of tanks as well there. Okay, see you shortly there, John. There's 2 tanker regiments, a reconnaissance regiment over here, so there's 58 armoured vehicles in here, 37 in here, 57 here. So there's over 100 armoured fighting vehicles there. Obviously the 104th Division, which is in complete, pristine condition. Oh, that was pretty quick. Yeah, wow. We do have the additional armoured regiments over here. So we do have 3 armoured regiments. I do believe they have been unloaded. Yep, they've been completely unloaded as well, so that's fantastic. So it'll take them a few days to arrive, but the good news is we can send all of these regiments north. So that's another 3 tanker regiments. We're going to have a good number of tanker regiments there. I'll probably change their planning, depending what happens. I don't think it would be useful to have them plan for Hanyang if we take Hanyang. Could you send a unit to the hex between Hanyang and Changsha and face an attack across the city? See, the thing is, it would take too long to do that. He's going to react to this pretty much immediately. As soon as he sees a movement tick, he's probably going to react to that. Yeah, we've got 38,000 tons of supply moving at the river at the moment. There's 30,000 tons here, 27,000 tons here, a little bit lesser than what was there previously, which is probably reacting to the fact that the ships have taken supply from Shanghai. But what I'll probably do then is, in fact, tell them to stockpile. So I'm going to tell them to stockpile supply here. Might tell them to do it in multiple cities, but I think Wuchang probably the best idea. I'll leave it at Wuchang just for the time being. I suppose there's movement and operations over here as well, so they're moving out. Yeah, wow. We will have, let's see. So 34th Division's marching north, so they will arrive. Let's see. Is it Major Road or Secondary Road? So it's Major Road, so they'll arrive here tomorrow as well, so they'll participate in that combat. So shock attack is a good idea there. That would definitely destroy them. He's going to see a lot coming in his way. You take a look over here, we do have a number of divisions marching towards Nanyang. We've seen that the supply situation is perilous in this area as well, so we are going to really... I mean, ideally we're going to be... this is going to look really good. This is going to make me look even better. He's going to think, holy shit, how did he coordinate all that? And it's just a sheer look there. But yeah, the good news is, I mean, it's not a good idea using these. It's probably a bad idea to do this sort of thing. But the way I justify it is it's almost like brute force in the system, but I will not be doing it again. That's for certain. I have stopped the supply flow from Japan to Shanghai as well. We might restart that future, but I want to retain our supply in China for the time being. But indeed, yeah, we'll have to plan this out, but the fact that these cities are open, this is looking really good. I didn't realise we were in reconnaissance of Isian. But we are. Yeah, 9 out of 10 here. How you doing there, Brayden? Welcome back, my friend. 9 out of 15 there. He may seriously consider pulling back immediately from Changsha. This is incredible, to be honest. Absolutely incredible. But we'll have a think on that one. That is such an interesting situation. God damn it. I mean, I might power drop immediately. Oh, I'm sorry there, John. Yeah, we might power drop immediately. I suppose this is it. He's going to know that something's up immediately. So I suppose if... I mean, as soon as he sees the movement tick, he's going to know. So if we power drop, it might cause him issues. It's going to be at least... Well, there'll be a day or 2 days then where supply is going to be... Well, it's going to be interfered with. So he'll have to take that into consideration, really. But who knows? We might even wait till a day later and then drop. But I feel like either today or tomorrow, really, is probably when we will drop. For big offensives like Changsha, someone's always necessary to the ship supply. Well, this is it. We'll have a decent stock. The fighting isn't going to be as draining of supply as it was over here at Changsha due to the fact that the numbers are lower. It will still be greatly draining, but I'd say it'd be manageable. If we suffer with supply, consider his situation where he has significantly less in the way of supply. So that's something to bear in mind there. And even more so, once we do drop the paratroopers, it's not going to stop that supply, but we could actually move into a position where we could seriously impede it. I really wish... I mean, if those guys had been there or something like that, then if they'd been on the rail line, this would have been perfect, but... it is what it is, but I suppose ultimately it's reduced the amount of men that he has at Changsha, but these men... they don't look to be leaving, so everything's static here. We did just see units transfer over here from Shaoyang to Xiangtan. So it depends. If he delays for a single day, it could make all the difference. Well, what I will probably do is bombard at Changsha. I think we'll probably bombard at Changsha. Possibly so. I'm of the mind that if I bombard at Changsha... I mean, I discussed this, I think, last episode on the Chrysanthemum Order Discord room. But I don't know. I feel like bombarding at Changsha is a good idea. But I feel like it might distract him. He may not know exactly where we're going to attack. Then again, if I bombard, I do reveal what I have at Changsha or what I've moved away from Changsha. So perhaps we wait a turn on that one. It's hard to say there, really. Possibly a turn. I think possibly we wait one turn to bombard at Changsha, because if we see him moving his men, then we might begin to bombard. It's going to be very interesting. I don't think I want to reveal to him that the armor has left the area, because that might be the big giveaway there. I mean, ideally he doesn't know about this, but there's a chance he knows about it due to the proximity of this unit over here. But we will see about that. I'm just going to leave them in position there, actually. I need to destroy that unit. If it wasn't for that unit, it would be a lot better right now. So we do have another brigade on its way too. So, yeah, major road. So they're going to march along here. Wow. That's such a momentous... yeah. I'll have to look towards putting together the 60th Division actually shortly. Yeah, I think the big decision is going to be whether we drop today or tomorrow. I'm going to say possibly wait another day. The reason being, if I drop, then he's definitely going to go into panic mode. But then again, if I drop now, he might send some additional forces north, but then he's going to see the movement tick anyway, so is it going to make that much a difference? And there's going to have to be a lot of discussion there, really. Well, the good news is there will be armor. I think the armor should be able to support the attack at Hengyang, ideally. But yeah, ideally they get across without having the shock attack. It might be that the divisions take all the brunt. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting situation, really. But I think what we'll do then is probably drop... I mean, I'm going to have to really seriously consider whether we drop the paratroopers tomorrow or whether we drop them a day after. It might be better to drop them this turn, and then at least they will have an actual impact before the battle begins. Not so much on the supply. Obviously, there will be a little bit of a drop in supply that he won't notice immediately. But he might then have to take them into consideration. It's going to be a very, very interesting situation. I think we'll have to consider that one, because it is going to be a fascinating discussion, really. But we do have... How many units of armor there? So there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units of armor there. There's 3 units of armor here. There's another 3 units of armor down here. We will have additional armor on its way into China, but it may not even be required, to be honest. Oh, are they returning? Okay, they're returning. That's good news, so they've been rearmed. Sometimes I forget what I've done here. Whew, wow. Okay, so it looks like he's possibly using the PGs to move supply in here. The engineers have moved out at last. And he's not attacked, so I don't think he's going to be considering an attack anytime soon. Right, they're marching as well. Okay, these guys are remaining. That's good. Yeah, much to consider on that one. But yeah, I think we'll bomb Shangtan. Which would be very nice. It could really throw him off as well. It could really throw him off. He may expect the bombing to continue at Changsha, but if we actually change it over to Shangtan, he might have the Flying Tigers run long-range combat air patrol over Changsha instead. Let's see, do I actually have detection? Yeah, so detection level over Chengte, so he's actually moved the Flying Tigers out. So I'm glad that I didn't waste my time bombing there. Where are the Flying Tigers? That's the question. Are they at Quailin? There's aircraft there at Quailin, but I can't see how many aircraft. And I don't see them in the immediate area, so they could be potentially around one of these cities. They might be at Chongqing again, but it's very interesting. There's a lot going on right now. So we'll go ahead and take a look across the Empire. Lost track of the unit that is there, so there's a British unit there to remember. Okay, so we are seeing an increase of... Right, tankers over here as well. 32 fighters. Yeah, he's happy with the situation now. He's not attacking anymore, so he has been taught a lesson there. He has learned to be a little bit more cautious. Okay. So 3rd Air Division there is heading down, so they're now moving, which is good news. So what are we seeing over here then at Palembang? So still 22 fighters. Right, they're now ready and loaded. There's a port there. I may go ahead and take Billington, or Bilition. It is very risky, however, considering the aircrafts over here. But then again, let's take a look. What's the range here? From Palembang to Potignac is about 8 hexes. That would be 5 hexes. This would be 8 hexes. So probably better to just continue down the coast here. Probably the better. Ah, see you later there, John. You'll be able to catch up, I'm sure. Yeah, you're right there, Fred, which is what I'm doing anyway. And there's like 2 divisions remaining over here. Which is all in terms of garrison. I've moved the engineers and artillery out of the area, so they're heading towards San Fernando. So they're going to be sent then across to Malaya, then they'll be marched down here to Singapore, not Singapore. I am building up the amount of assault value that I have here. His troop numbers, I don't think they were as high as I anticipated. I can't bloody remember what the troop numbers were. It suggested 93,700 there, but it could be different. I can't remember what it was when we actually went into the battle. But I don't think it's as high as it was historically or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. But shame that we lost the transport ship over here, but I suppose this is it. It's worthwhile to take Balikpapan. So we did have a submarine over here, actually. So take a look at Balikpapan. So the port took some damage, obviously, from the bombardment. We do find 5,393 units of fuel over here. Airfield, yeah, I mean, airfield runway is not too bad. It's damaged, but it's not terribly bad. It's not unusable, really. REMS. I'm not entirely sure what that term is, sorry. Right, what are the facilities looking like? So is this the amount that we have? I always forget which number it is, but... right. So that's the total then 213. So I think, yeah, I think a lot of facilities were damaged, but we still have a decent amount there. That's still not bad at all, really. Restart production. There we go. So that's going to produce supply for us as well. There's only 298 tons of supply here, but we will be able to produce our own supply, which would be quite good. Yeah, how does the actual unit look? 140 AV, yeah, so it's pretty good to go. The unit itself has more supplies than it's actually required, so that's good. Yeah, 80... Oh, wow, 213 producing. Well, that's really good. Oh, rear echelon. Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, obviously, they still fight in the defense. So it's the number to the left. That is actually the number that is damaged. That's good to know. That's true. But it was worthwhile, I suppose. Could have gone for a shock attack, but I wasn't aware that it damaged the actual oil facilities. But that's still a good number to actually have available then. If 213 are still active, I'm still quite happy with that. That's pretty good, man. What's the supply situation like over here? I've got supply enough to initiate one attack. I might go for an attack in the near future then. Right, so it's going to need to rearm. Fuso does need to head home for repairs in the near future. Righto. So they're loading supplies at the moment. I'll have them go ahead and take these islands. Yeah. I'm not going to repair immediately anyway. But that's something to bear in mind. They can share that fuel out once they're at sea. Right, okay. I am tempted to go for that. It would be nice to have the airfield there. I'm going to try and sneak it. I know it's a risk, but we'll try. Actually, it's the only... It is a single ship, so probably not a wise idea to do just that. We do have a PB there. I'll have it actually merge with that second PB... Well, with that second force there. At least when it actually has an escort. So merge. Oh, you're still loading your troops over here. Right, so you're still loading men. So no mind. Remain in this position. Right, loading unit, okay. And they're heading over there. Right, so units have not yet arrived there yet. But they'll be arriving soon enough. Yeah, well, actually, it's going to take a few days. What kind of roads are we looking at there? Secondary roads over there at Timor. So it'll take a little while, but that's okay. Hmm. Carl, we're not going to raid with H6K4s. We're not doing that. Maybe one day, but they're too valuable right now to use like that. I'd rather have information rather than throwing them away to like sink a silly transport. But we've not taken a look at the Pacific as of yet. So there were some ships around here, but we have missed them, which I'm fine with, really. Obviously, it would have been nice to hit them, but I want to give him the impression that this area is not as well defended as what it actually really could be. Right, how far are we now? 13 miles down to the 46. Still 5 units. I think what I'll look to do then, I want to get some fighters out towards this area, and then I'd like to actually begin to potentially, I don't know, I think I might use, I don't know, I might consider using the Navy bombers to bomb the airfield over here at Moresby, but I'd rather use Army bombers. We'll see. How you doing there, Rez? I've not checked the air losses, I'll do that now, then why not? So he's lost a Catalina, 2 Catalinas, 3 Catalinas, well that's nice, he's lost a few Catalinas. Yeah, just the typical losses there, a few to flak. He's went to operational, which is good news. The less naval search he has, the better really. So, combined fleet. So he does have some detection of the combined fleet. But yeah, I suppose that was to be expected, considering that he has submarines around this area. Though 1 out of 1 might actually be radio. Might be radio, actually, signal intelligence. I know, Carl. But it's one of these things that you've got to consider as well, that when he's building fortresses, he's also using supply. So it's one of those things of I can break down the fortresses, which obviously is not going to be easy, but I can do it. So in a way it's like draining supply, but we'll look towards doing that. The reason why I'm not too keen on doing it with the naval bombers is I don't want to really advertise what we have in that area, really. Yeah, we have pilot train going on there, Fred. Started a little bit later, but it's been going on now for a while. And yet, no. Okay, so nothing sighted at Wellington. No, detection there. None here. He's gone bloody dark across this area. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that he knows the fact that, we spotted his carriers then, so he's gone down there. What is the name of this game? Sorry, it popped up on my feed. So subscribe to your page. I usually watch your To End All Wars games. Wow, that's been a while. Those have been a few years ago. But how you doing there, Edmund Carter? This is Gary Grisby's War in the Pacific, Admiral's Edition. So what I'd like to point out here then, that is, so this yellow box over here is my monitor, which is 1920 by 1080. So take a look at the size of the map. So we're actually 70 days into the Pacific War here against my opponent, the Historical Gamer, which I definitely recommend checking out his channel. And yeah, we're going to be really looking to shake things up. A few thousand men are going to be cracking along the lines over here at Nanyang in the next few days. We're just going over the rest of the Pacific at this moment in time. But I was just saying, so I feel like his carriers, I mean, if they're still at Wellington, then they're doing a really good disappearing act. I feel like they might have headed out towards Melbourne, potentially Sydney, I doubt Brisbane. We would have detected Brisbane. We might have even detected Sydney, possibly. But well, actually no, Sydney is just beyond that range. But I'm going to say Melbourne. Melbourne's probably the... I couldn't really say as many ports that are better protected. Yeah, that's very true there, Fred. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look around. So still seeing 2 ships out here. I do find it really strange that he's just maintaining that position there. It does make me wonder, is there some other reason? It might be worthwhile taking a look and sending out some sort of reconnaissance. Anyway, something to bear in mind there. But I'm not particularly happy about having 2 ships there. I do worry that he might look towards bombardment from the footy. It doesn't seem to be wanting to do that. At least not yet. So what are we seeing out here then? Okay, so there's 2 DDs. An AP. PT. He's definitely up to something here. So 4 ships, I wonder... Why two destroyers? That's interesting. He's definitely moving things. I wonder if he's just moving them straight from Pearl South, or maybe from US straight to Christmas or something. But that's very interesting, actually. No detection as of yet. Yes, an AP is... well, it's a troop transport, actually. I think APs are... I don't know if it counts as just a pure military. I can't remember, actually. Something to bear in mind, anyway. But it's definitely a troop transport. Well, capable of troop transportation, so definitely a good target there. So let's take a look at the area then. So the first oilers aren't too far out now from Baker Island. So they're going to arrive at Baker Island tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, sorry, the day after tomorrow. Actually, no, saying that, not too far away, are they? They'll arrive soon enough at any rate. So the AFC is heading back towards home territory. How you doing, Versal? She's heading back towards Ponape. Well, I mean, if it's moving any assets, that would be nice. That would be very nice. I mean, ideally they move out to the area beforehand. I'd like to... I'm probably going to be using the surface combatants against that force there, depending on how long it remains. But that could be very interesting, actually. That could be very interesting. See, I don't know if there's still ships over here, but there probably could be. Oh, right, so auxiliary personnel carrier then, basically. Or transportation. That makes sense. Yes, we'll have the light cruiser over here available to move out. We do have Abukuma. She's moving out as well there. Right, Kyosumi Maru. We also do have Kinagusa alongside two destroyers there, so she's on her way. The combined fleet has set out, so they have been detected. But, well, really, what are the chances that he knows where she's heading? Well, he might try to track her, but we'll see. We've not checked Midway as of yet. Yeah, so assets are moving out there. I mean, these USN assets might be gone by the time we actually arrive in that area. Watch out the north. Oh, hello. Did we actually get... So I've got some detection, actually. Not much. I'm going to have to keep on building up there, really. Well, the thing is there, Carl, if he's tracking her via submarines, he might have detected her via submarines, so I'm going to assume submarines for the time being. But 1 out of 1 does make me think maybe signal intelligence, but it's probably submarines or signal intelligence. I'm going to say submarines. We'll be over here by next turn, which is obviously 10 hexes away, near enough. Well, yeah, near enough that sort of distance. So, we'll be moving faster than the submarines. So we don't need to do anything particularly special now, just obviously keep moving as fast as we can, really. Right. Hyun, Maru moving south. So the AOs are in position here alongside Shoho. So that's good news. So, ooh. 2 ships moving east. That's interesting. Why would he, So what, between Japan and Midway? Where the hell's he going to be sending these convoys, Carl? Oh man, I'd love to be in your mind for a second. One thing about a push on Christmas instead of snark about war on Xmas is that it could force a fleet action where the cards are in your favour. Well, this is it, really. As for Shoho, I don't think it's worthwhile sending Shoho out for just 2 ships. They're moving east anyway. It's something to take into consideration, but they've been detected by the H6K4, so we'll leave them to carry out that business. I need to decide when I'm going to dispatch Shoho. Ultimately, we've got to guard the actual oilers. So the ships being detected there are nice, but it depends where they are. Oh yeah. I think what I might do then is once combined fleet is potentially down here at Bacon Island, or possibly in this sort of area, I want to really time it so that they arrive. I don't want to have Shoho just lingering around for no reason. Then you've got to bear in mind that the longer that we actually have assets out here, the greater the chance it actually has detection over them. So at least by keeping them at Marcus, at least I do have them somewhat on the interior. It would be nice to have some naval search out of here at Marcus. But it's something to bear in mind. So probably, I'm going to say probably a few days until Shoho sets out, really. Hey, Stanislav Dimitrov, like that name. How is it in Bulgaria? Hello there, Sasha. Well, that's a good question. Two ships. I don't really have much in the way of information on them. We might take a look through the operations log. We might find something. I'm not entirely sure what they could be. I'm going to assume that's probably some sort of warship. Something to bear in mind. But I'm not going to get my panties in a twist over two ships, really. We do have the two H6K4s here that are active. Yeah. He might come in for a bombardment, but if he comes in for a bombardment, then whatever. It's good to see them actually had the float plane go ahead and detect over here at Pearl Harbor. That's quite nice. I don't know. We have to bear in mind that he did see the AS. He might be looking for the AS, which is something to bear in mind, and I suppose she would be around this area. It might be worthwhile just to have the AS actually head to Marcus and just stay at Marcus until we're happy. I do have two submarines and a float plane float plane 1 as well out here. So I might have the submarines actually head in this direction. That'd be kind of ironic, actually. Yeah. I was expecting a submarine tender and actually ran into the submarines. That's something to bear in mind. Okay. So what I'm going to do here then, so show all units. Enemy task forces. Yeah, that's interesting then. So we are seeing a few assets around the area then. Yeah. Well, it probably would do. It's deep waters over here, so we'd have it pretty easy. So what I'm going to do then is have them move in that direction. I'll not split them both up yet. So just have them head in that direction. 50-50 is fine. I don't want to burn all that fatigue for no real reason. Okay. Yeah, I do feel like if he was actually heading north with something, we would have... I'm pretty sure we would have detected it by now. But something to bear in mind. I think he's either... I don't know. I'd say it's a 30% chance that he's at Wellington. I'm going to say probably 70% chance that those carriers that were detected are probably down at Melbourne. Yeah. Well, we've got Canton Island already, actually. I've also got Savai. I'm looking forward to using Savai one day. He's not even reduced it, which I find to be really arrogant, to be honest. It could come back to bite him in the ass in a big way if he's not careful. The thing is, it doesn't have any real meaning right now. It's actually something of a stone around our neck. But that might change one day. So that's something to really, really bear in mind. But as one of the earlier comments in regards to like potential fleet action over here being initiated, we have in the making a task force of 2 light cruisers, a heavy cruiser and 2 destroyers. Obviously, that would be the Vanguard force. Obviously, we could potentially even push more. I'd be able to peel off another destroyer from this group over here. Another day closer, maybe 2 days actually, 2 days more, then I'll have the 2 patrol boats actually head out from Tarawa to meet it. I could actually have them head out tomorrow. Yeah, I could have them head out tomorrow. I think one more day, then I'll have the patrol boats from Tarawa actually head out to meet them, and then we'll be able to relieve the destroyer Oite, or Oite, yeah, Oite, from Garden there. So we'd have 1 heavy cruiser, 2 light cruisers, and 3 destroyers. Though, to be fair, it might be better just to have the 3 destroyer, 1 heavy cruiser task force just run independent, really. The light cruisers might get in the way. But the light cruisers are pretty good for, like, just harassment, to be fair. Something to bear in mind. Okay. But that's going to be very interesting to him. I'd love to know what's going to go through his mind when he sees that. Alright, but the good news is we're all good to go over here then. So I'm going to march on Samarinda. The roads over here are secondary, so it's going to take a few days for us to actually get there. So, yeah, it's going to take some time. But it's worthwhile. Definitely will be worthwhile. Your trap? What was your trap? I don't know why they were on patrol. Yeah, they're already in crossing. So they're in combat. So I could put them in movement mode for the time being, but I think it would change to movement back. But we'll put it for movement now. It'll probably change back for turn afterwards, but if it gains us some additional movement, that'd be nice. Okay, I'd like to get some supply aboard these actual assets over here. So I'm going to have them head back to Singkawang. Unload at Singkawang. And then load up the troops again and some supply. That would be quite nice. Good march over there to Sambas. There's a dot base south of Tarawa that can develop into a size 6 airfield. That's really good, helps a ton. I can imagine it would do. South of Tarawa. And it's called... Oh, this one over here. Oh, right, yeah, wow. Yeah, that would be quite nice, actually. It would be a nice midway point between here. That would be handy. Something to bear in mind then, anyway. Okay. So we have landed forces over here, so he was forced to retreat now, which is obviously not good for him. I think what we'll do then is actually have a Naval Guard unit loaded up and we'll land over here at Jesselton. These forces are marching. That was a really bad mistake doing that. I should have just cut my losses immediately, but I don't know, I've persisted. This taught me the lessons of just hanging around in the jungle there. Entire unit, well done. That's good to know. There's no roads there. Oh god, there's a trail, so that's awful. I don't need to worry about that unit. They couldn't take the base anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, George of the Jungle, indeed. Right, so we'll have them load up. We'll have them then land level 2 port there. We'll land them over there. There's an airfield as well. So once they're done, then they can do that. They can retire. And then back to Balfour. Good deal of fuel there. Still marching south. Be arriving there at some point in the near future. Right, so they're still loading troops. Not terribly many of them left now. Okay, they're moving to truck. And they're moving down south to Bhutan. Looking good. Okay. For somebody says, yes, missing a pilot, I know. I know somebody will say it. And rightly so. And we're going to have these guys transferred over to Hankow. There we go. So I should, in theory, be able to reunite this unit. Yes, I can. Fantastic. Right, there we go, at long last. So I could actually put some additional care 43s there if I wanted to, which I might do, to be fair. But that's very good. So we do have 36 at the ready, and 2 more that would be ready soon enough. Yeah, definitely something to bear in mind. But, indeed. You could drop powers combined with bombardment at Changsha. Well, I mean, we considered that. I think what I will do then is bombard potentially the turn after. The reason being, I'm going to change this. I might have them sweep it. I might just have them set to escort, to be fair. I don't know if it'd be expecting us to actually bomb at Shangtan. Hates its gaze at Midway. God damn you, Anno. Son of a bitch, I swear to God you take some sort of sick, sadistic joy in it. But I'll check that out, thank you. Sick bastard. Oh dear. Yeah, I might bombard at Changsha, I don't know. I'm with the mindset at the moment that I'm also going to march on Hengyang. I want to leave him wondering, is there going to be an attack at Changsha? If I attack at Changsha now, well, if I bombard at Changsha now, then he's going to see that obviously we have taken strength away from here, which he may be able to realise, but I don't know, it depends really on how much he's been taking notice of these numbers, and really how good his information on our numbers have even been, really. But obviously we have moved out, what was it, 13 units of armour, so I don't want him to know that the armour has been moved. He may then be in somewhat of a situation paralysis as well, then, so he might be thinking, well, where's the attack going to come? So I'm going to kind of build that into him there, really. We'll be attacking over here, which would be excellent. So 30 miles. Actually, no, how many miles are they marching a day? They might only be... Oh, no, they're on secondary, so they're marching 15. Multi-attack when Hengyang is starting. Well, I'm not going to attack Changsha directly, not a deliberate attack, but obviously we'd bombard at Changsha. The landings obviously would have either be gone ahead or going ahead. We'll obviously have the fighting over here to the north, so that's going to be looking good there. I do use the buttons every now and then. I do tend to go through most task forces for the most part. Over the course of streams, really. So it's one of those where sometimes I will, but most often I won't, due to the fact that I'll go through the task forces anyway, more or less one at a time. Not all of them, but I generally have a good idea what's going on in the area, at large at least. Right. Yeah, so we have these forces getting ready here. And this is excellent news. Really going to have a good think about this. We're having a brigade march up to this position over here at Nanyang, South Nanyang, which might put pressure on Nanyang, really. Yeah, once we'll be marching towards Ichang. So we'll have a division, the 34th Division there, and the brigade attack. So he's going to feel threatened over here as well, I'd imagine. We do have the divisions marching south, so round about, I don't know, maybe about shy of 2,000 AV or something like that. We'll be marching upon Nanyang. It's already beginning its march. So they'll be here tomorrow, then the day after they'll arrive more or less at Nanyang. That's good news. So I do have these 2 regiments over here. They're marching north, and then what I'm going to do is have either one of them march north over here, or have either one march north to this position here. I don't think there's roads. It would take some time to actually get into that position. Well, there's major here. There's no road connection directly, so it would slow down, but at least there is secondary road. It might even be worthwhile just to march north and then just march to the west, instead of going across like that way. Probably better just to go north, and then at least I do have more power there, considering it's 4 units there. I am sending a mixed brigade that will be engaging the enemy at that position as well, so ideally these guys arrive as well to reinforce. So, well actually I can't, fuck, I've just cancelled that, for fuck's sake. Fuck. Well, this is why you make saves before doing this stuff. I'm gonna leave you there, otherwise I'll muck it up. That's kind of annoying though. This is why you save. Right, there we go. Should have done that earlier. Okay, so he's reinforced his position over here at Luchao, however you say it. So that's good to know then. So it looks like he's moved the forces out from Nanyang, or at least a decent majority of the forces out from Nanyang. I'd imagine probably what he might have done then is left maybe a corps at Nanyang, and then maybe taken the rest of the forces and headed them back towards Luchao, or Luchao? Yeah, Luchao. Which would make sense. Which, fair enough, I can deal with that one. But yeah, the big show is going to be over here at Nanyang. So let's take a look then. None of these units actually have any marching orders. So they're all going to be moving out at the same pace. I'll have the 6th Division lead. Set all to follow. Right, so they're all in movement mode at this moment in time. I think obviously we'd have to put them into combat mode. The good news is they do have low fatigue. That's very good news. But I'll leave that one as that is for the time being. I don't want to interrupt any of these movements. And we'll have to really decide what we want to do there. I might seriously consider dropping the turn after. It's hard to decide really whether to drop now or whether to drop the paratroopers afterwards, really. I think as well, I mean, obviously we'll change the bombers to target Shangtan. That should be quite good. So if obviously we're targeting Shangtan with the bombers, he may then think that the actual attackers come in at Changsha. I don't think I'm going to bombard at Changsha now. I could do, and it's one of those of if I do, is it worthwhile? It is going to eat up supply, and it might take supply priority away from the troops that need it. But then I don't want to show him that we've moved our assets out. I'd really rather not. So I would say a delay of at least a day, perhaps. I think 1 day delay at Changsha's bombardment. As for the paratroopers, maybe another delay as well. Hard to say. If I drop now... I think what I want to do then is... Well, then again, it's one of these of... I would hope that if I drop not this turn, but the turn after, the forces they might have marching towards Henyang, he may cancel. But then again, it's one of these of if I drop the paratroopers this turn, he may then actually have troops march towards them. So that's something to bear in mind. I mean, I'm tempted to actually even name the turn like Stalingrad, but then again, it's one of the Stalingrad and the Yangtze. But then again, that'd make him just focus on this area, so we won't do that. I suppose the beauty is we already have our forces in position at Changsha, so if there's to be any battle, he won't really have a he won't really have prior notice of that. Because obviously we can just attack as we're already in position. So that's something to bear in mind. Very interesting news. Right. Cruisers back over here, so we're going to send them back to bombardment. There we go. Everybody's rearmed. Good. And back out to Wankal. Make sure they're on bombardment mission though. They are good. Alright, so they'll bombard again tomorrow. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I suppose it's a harmless one really at Balikpapan, really. Yeah, I mean, this is it. There's a good argument for both. If we drop now, at least then we have 2 turns, 3 turns. Well, it's always going to be another turn that they have that effect. I suppose the good news is as well, if he doesn't actually choose to actually go for them, I'd obviously begin marching north from here, and then marching north, considering that these are clear, so we'd be able to drop. I suppose this is it. I suppose the paratroopers dropping won't tip him off. I mean, it will probably tip him off to an attack. He's obviously going to see that attack's coming due to the troops marching across at Nanyang anyway, so he's going to know something's coming. But I don't think it really revealed to him where the main attack's going to be. So that's definitely something to bear in mind. This is what I love about this game. There's so much to take into consideration when we do anything, really. I would have preferred to have had an escort over here. I could potentially get an escort in form of the Zeros to move over here. Well, the good news is we know that Tiyun's empty, and we know that Chikyang's empty. They've been empty for a long time now, actually. We have seen units move through over here to Chikyang, down south. So I'm fairly confident that these are actually clear. He's only got 7,500 units over here, which I think, to be honest, is just 2 aviation units or 2 base forces, if that. We do have a parachutist unit over here at Hankal. We have another parachutist unit over here at Langson. It's been quite a long time in the preparation, really. It may be just better just to go for it, really. I suppose this is it. I suppose things could change by next turn. I almost said next turn for some reason. I'm turning Japanese there. Sorry, turning God damn it, German. God. I mean, from Hankau, I can obviously escort them. I mean, the AVG did engage us over Changsha, so I can escort them from Hankau with the Care 43s. I do have the Zeros, and I do have some of the Care 43s out here, so I think what I will do is probably consider transferring the Zeros. I might transfer the Care 43s as well. Possibly so. It might be, in fact, worthwhile to actually establish air dominance in China. So I suppose that Rangoon's a bit of a... it's not so much a priority right now. So it might be legitimately, yeah, it might be that we establish air supremacy over China more than anything. Might be worthwhile doing. Well, obviously I say might, it definitely is worthwhile. At Langson we have... So we have 26 ready over here at Langson. At Hankau I have 86 ready. Missing a few parts here, actually. Just fill that unit. Yeah, so I do have 86 ready over here at Hankar, which is obviously quite a good number. It's the vast majority of what we actually have, really, in terms of transportation. We do have the shorter leg transports around this area as well. So we wouldn't be able to drop as many Antillion in the same turn, but I could probably drop the entire unit, potentially the entire unit from Hankow. Possibly. Second Raging Regiment has 22 planning for Chikyang. I don't know if I could drop the entire unit. Probably not. And these engineers would be superb. Yeah, it is fine. If I take a look at the pilots, pilot replacements, reserve pool, the vast majority are in these pools. Can always change them out anyway through a little trick. I'm just bringing them in for the time being due to the fact I'll have a second stream of this anyway, so if it's something I want to take a look at, I'll take a look at that. Alright. Oh, we are missing a pilot. God damn you, I know. Oh, I can't request a pilot here anyway. So there's also going to be significantly less competition over here for the actual attention of the repair yard. I could have Akagi undergo the attentions of the repair ship. But it seems a little bit like... I suppose it is 1 damage, but I'd rather have them concentrate on another ship that actually needs that repair. That attacker. Yeah, it should be ready soon enough. It's apparently 5 days, which is quite nice. Cacao. Well, we're working on the system damage there first, and that engine damage. She may have to head back to Japan. I'm pretty sure she has to head back to Japan. 2 days into the repair ship, I think that's worthwhile. Repair ship as well. Yeah, Adakazi, you'll have to head back to Japan as well. Just the system damage. She's only got a little bit of system damage. Okay. Yeah, so Nagato will be ready in supposedly 29 days, which is good news. And she's on low priority at the moment. If I shift that up to 22, critical, 19, high. Suppose I'll place her on high priority. Saying that, I probably will readjust that, so I'm not entirely happy with that decision as of yet. We'll come back to it anyway. Okay, so just unloading supply here at Gazmata, which is good news. So we did drive him off back over here from Rabaul, which is good news. Aye. There's still 41 AV over here from the 24th Infantry Regiment Detachment there. Considering that we do have a little bit of AV from the 2nd JNAF unit as well. I'm not entirely fearful. Yeah, I don't think we have anything to worry about from his jungle fighters. I think their time is indeed spent there, really. We did see that they were low on supplies, so I can imagine they're going to be especially low on supplies now. If they attack again, they're not going to get any shipment of supplies, so they're going to just starve to death, really. Eventually I will hunt them out through the jungles, but I'll leave that for a while. It's not a massive priority right now, really. Yeah, I don't expect it all to be done at the same time. You are correct there, Fred, but I'm not going to expect it. I think we do have a second repair ship here, actually. Yeah, we've got Akashi and Yamabiko Maru. So there's both of the repair ships in the Empire at the moment here at the base. Also, we do have the auxiliary repair dock. But it's like, if it takes another few days, I'm not really particularly bored. Those assets are going to stay there for the time being anyway. Minikadapatai has been refueled, I do believe. Indeed, that's good news. Okay, so we can have her head out. I believe I will take the heavy cruisers as well. Right, so we're going to head out for truck. I'll have them take a different path once they get a little bit closer. But that's good news. I'm glad that they've been refueled. Right, here's still loading troops. How many troops do you actually have aboard? 2 squads, that's enough. These things take a bloody age to unload. Sorry, to load. Right, so let's cancel. And head out. Alright, they're heading back. So they'll arrive at Manadao tomorrow. Are you going to move in? I'd very much like that to survive. Yeah, I think we do have a few being converted. The good news is I can set the home port to Balikpapan now, so they won't have to worry about fuel. So we're going to send them to merge with these guys. Oh, incompatible? What? Is it on support? I can change it to something else anyway. So I'll just change that to transport. Set their home port to Balikpapan. How you doing there, Dr. Communist? Good to have you, my friend. Right, so merge with that force, and then escort them in. So that's good news, so they're going to head back there, which would be excellent. So at least with this secured now, if we take a look at that, that's a shitload of oil. But there's no point transporting the oil back to Japan. I might as well just refine it here, then move the fuel out. It's actually more, well, it's inefficient to transport, oil, not fuel. Oil significantly more cumbersome to transport, I suppose you could say. But looking good there so far. Okay. But yeah, still quite shocked about the news at Hengyang. That is brilliant. The fact that it's reduced its strength is just exceptional. I think I will consider dropping tomorrow then. I think I might. I'll get it set up now, and then if I change my mind, I can change my mind. But there is a good argument for both. I would like to have some escorts. I might see if I can get some escorts over here to Langson and then go for it. I could actually do it. I do have some A5 and 4s around here, but I think I'd rather have something with range, I should say. It's not guaranteed that they would actually escort, but at least there would be a chance. I might have the Zeros transferred to Hankal, to be honest. So those Oscars have the range. I mean, to be honest, I may have, I don't know, I'm kind of in two minds here at the moment. I might have that Oscar squadron divided and have some of the Oscars sent down south to Singapore. I could potentially have the Zero sent down there to Singapore to escort. He does have fighters over Palembang. I could potentially switch tactics and hit Palembang, but then again, he's gonna stay there until he doesn't find it useful anymore anyway. I don't think it's worthwhile having to bomb. Yeah, I don't think it's worthwhile bombing Palembang's airfield. Yeah, I know they'll need oil, but I'd rather send the fuel. It's one of those of what's the point sending that oil to be... And obviously it might be potentially worthwhile to do, but it's one of these of I'd rather just send the fuel. Honestly, we will probably draw some oil, but we'll see about that. The KF-43 2A or 2B. Oh, I'm not entirely sure, actually. Let's see. Group reinforcement. How you doing there, GM, for all the people? Good to have you, my friend. There's a great scene of the old movie Raid over Entebel, where the merchant paras are in Herx, flying to the drop zone and they start singing. That's really cool, actually. I'll have to check that out. Right, so we get some 2A Oscars there in September 43. All I'm saying, Fred, is I'm not making like an absolute declaration here, really. I'm not saying like, oh, I will absolutely not send anything there. I'm just going to say for the time being that I'd rather send the fuel back to Japan. Obviously, I would look at sending oil if oil was required to send back. But I'm talking, like, when I'm saying most things here, just assume that I'm talking about within this sort of week or within this sort of time frame, really. Not eternally, really. Okay. I think I'll send the Oscars over here from the first Sentai. 7 fatigue. 6 fatigue. The Zeros I might have sent to Hankal. Yeah, I think to Hankal. I think if they're in position at Hankal, then I can use them to oppose the AVG, which is obviously opposing us out here at this moment in time. But I... Yeah, I'll send the Zeros to Hankal. And let's check the range from Langsom to Yun. So that's 7 hexes, so they can easily manage that. So the Oscars will go to Langson then. The good news is we do have the rail line, so that does make things significantly easier. I'll transfer these bombers elsewhere then. Okay, not many of them were lost in transit, which is good news. So what I'll do then is I'll set them up for escort duties over to Toyon. Flying 16,000 feet. I'll have them fly the same altitude as the actual paratroopers. Which I don't think particularly matters actually what altitude they fly at. If anyone's aware of what altitude to actually have the paratroopers fly, I would appreciate knowing that. I think 10,000 feet should be fine. I don't know if you could fly at particularly any altitude. I'd imagine there would be an altitude I would have to fly at. I could be wrong. I'll say 10,000 just for the time being. Obviously, if there is an actual altitude to fly at, then I will fly about. So we'll have them escort at 10,000. I could have them split. Which might be a better idea, really, to have them all escort that way, but at least there's a greater chance that they will be escorted. So send all KI-43 wants the Oscars to do the same. I don't know if I'd even need that level of combat air patrol. Maybe even just 10%, so 50% of the squadron anyway, rather than 50% of each detachment of the squadron. Give them the drop tanks. Set all KI-43s. Set them their target. There we go. If we take a look over here, that's well within the increased normal radius then with the drop tanks. So the Zeros will go to Hankal. There we go. So that does give me some more options to work with in China now. So what I could potentially do then is have, I don't know, do we have the Zeros escorting the... It probably would be better to have the KI-43s actually escort the transports to their destination, considering the fact that they are completely ready. The Zeros may go in, but they may not go in. So it's one of those things to bear in mind, really. I don't want to be going off and losing any of them. But I don't think he's going to be expecting us to land. I mean, he's been sweeping... Well, he's been opposing us with his actual... Tigers, but is he going to exactly expect us to be landed at 2 different locations that he's not previously even bothered to protect? One of these to bear in mind there, really. I just pray, absolutely pray that he doesn't see that. If he didn't see it for a day, that'd make all the difference in the world there, really. A single day could make that difference. So, what I'm going to do here, then... Right, troop transport. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can actually spend some political points. I do have those. But I'll get that ready beforehand anyway. We'll just get the majority set up on this stream, and then we can always like sort out the details then afterwards. 2nd Raiding Regiment land at Chikyang, so we cast at the moment. Alright, destination Chikyang. Set all transports. I do have a couple of these in reserve, which is nice. Okay. Make sure that unit's in combat mode, actually. There we go. I'll see if we have a superior commander as well. I don't think it'd be entirely needed, though. But it might be something to take a look at. I mean, all these extra little details we'll take a look at when we actually come towards the end of the turn. Yokosuka 3rd SLF. Right, there we go. Set over towards Taeyon. Going at 10,000 feet. Set all transports. So these guys, we have 3rd, so 5th, 3rd, Southern. I might have them all just transferred to Southern Army, but we'll do that in the near future. Right, they're all set for Taeyon. Heavily overstacked here, but obviously we'll be able to move these units elsewhere then afterwards. Right, so fighters. I'm going to send the Oscars to escort. Of Chikyang. I'll have to take a look at the headquarters over here as well. Alright, so that's set up for the time being. What we're going to do then is have the bombers. So we're going to be hitting Xiangtan. 3,000 feet as well. I'll have the Zeros escort that too. Decent bit of fatigue, so I'm going to have to set a couple of them to rest. Maybe half of the unit rest and would be sufficient. Well, I probably don't need that much. Well, I'm going to keep a fair amount of a unit then. I think I'll have a third of the unit rest. I think I'll have these Zeros fly 10,000 feet. I could even divide the Zeros up actually, and then at least there's a good... I could actually spread them out in the altitude. Something to bear in mind there. I could even have the Zeros sweep, to be honest. It might be better to actually have the Zeros just sweep. I don't think I need to sweep, to be fair, but might be worthwhile. I could even potentially have the Zeros sweep over Changsha, but I'd rather do it with less fatigue than 16. I'm not too particularly happy about that much fatigue. Also, they did gain a lot from moving over to this area. I can actually put a lot more Zeros in here, but I'm not going to do that as of yet. I think these numbers of zeros will be sufficient for the time being, really. Plus, I'd rather have zeros elsewhere at this moment in time. Right. I think what I'll do then is I'll divide the unit. I'll have some of them down at 3,000 feet as well. Then have the others at 10,000. I might even have the third group at 15, to be honest. But they're not as likely to coordinate then. They're not as likely to coordinate with 10,000 feet. So I might go for a halfway house between that. Maybe about 6,000 feet. If it even matters, really. We did see that the Tigers were down at 6,000 feet beforehand. Yeah, they can rest when they're dead. I suppose this is it, really. For an operation of this import, we'll go all out. Just this one time. Nothing personal. Oh dear. Right, so they're going to be sweeping over... Well, they're going to be escorting over Shangtan. So these zeros. Oscars are going to go to Chikyang. They definitely have the range. Yeah, they have the range, definitely. Brilliant news. Okay. And then I'll seriously consider actually having these guys all change to the same headquarters. We're going to send these guys to combat as well. Combat, there we go. So they've got 23% planning for Tion. I'm not... Yeah, I'm going to change his commander out. That's not a very good commander. Kuchi. I'm going the wrong way. Rear Admiral. That's Rear Admiral, isn't it? Is it? Are they a Navy unit? They are combined fleet, so I suppose they are a Navy unit. Well, they are a Navy unit, are they? SLF. Didn't realise they'd have a Rear Admiral. But I suppose they are under naval hierarchy, so I suppose, yeah. It is what it is. Aggression, administration, inspiration, leadership. Well, inspiration, leadership. Yeah, he's good. He's very good. We'll have him then. Abe. Koso Abe. Yeah, pretty much. And that's only going to cost me a single political point, so that's fine. There we go. Koso Abe. Okay, they need to get moving. And I do have this brigade here. I think I might have this brigade move out as well, considering. Do I need to have a garrison here? Oh, I do actually, so I can't do that. Right, China Expeditionary Army. What I'm going to do then is have the headquarters. I believe I'll have them set to Hengyang. I'm going to hold off on that until a little bit more planning has been done, just in case, because obviously I don't want to go... Well, actually, no, I could just make a save, and then at least I can do that. And if it's not correct, then I can always go back. Alright, so I'll save that there, and then I'll set the headquarters to plan for Hengyang. I mean, ideally we'd gain a... like an AV bump from the headquarters, and I think it should be possible, really. I'll double save it there, just in case. Yeah, I mean, if we were to take Hengyang at the first attack, that'd be exceptional. That would really be exceptional. The good news is I at least do have a headquarters. It's only the 23rd Army headquarters, but at least it is fallen up there. It does have 13 planning, so it's not terrible. It's a pretty damn good commander. That is a really, really good commander. Yeah, so at least they'll be in position over here. So at least we'll have some headquarters support guaranteed. But what I'll do then is I'll set... actually say that. What I'm going to do then is I need to double check what headquarters to actually set for this. So I'll not do it yet. I'm going to double check which ones actually matter. I think it's the core army and like overall, well, the general headquarters I need to have set. But I'll double check that before we actually do go ahead there. I mean, if I take a look over here then, so if this had been major roads all the way, we would have been here very quickly, but they're still going to be there very quickly. The good news is, depending on what happens, really, if he delays by a single day, it could make a huge amount of difference. But the good news is we are going to have... Yeah, we are going to have blooming tons of tanks there pretty quickly. I'm going to set the bombers to actually hit Shangtan as well then. It'd be kind of embarrassing if they went into Changsha unescorted. Right, level bombers. So we're going to go for ground attack. I do believe they have the range. Yeah, they're just within range, but they might take more additional operation losses, but that's fine. So set all level bombers to 3,000 feet, where they do the most. I mean, we proc his AAA at that altitude, so that's good. It's fine by me. Alright, Shangtan. Doesn't matter by altitude, so I'm going to put it up to 10 anyway. Yeah, there we go. We'll be bombarding over here to Wankau again. It's going to look great. It's going to look really good, actually. How many fires do we have over here at Wankau at the moment? Only 4 to 4, so he's fighting that quite effectively. So these guys, then, they'll definitely be here tomorrow. They'll have a good bit of progress into that hex as well. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so... we'll be looking at a few days before these guys arrive. But that's okay. So we'll have a reinforcing brigade. We'll have a reinforcing division in some time. Obviously, we've got these divisions. I think these guys should be able to go in together. Ideally, they'll be able to go in together. And that would bring us up... so that would probably bring us up to about 2,000 or so AV. I'd say probably about 2,000 assault value. Obviously, then if the headquarters have an impact, that could help us out. I don't think... yeah, I think the headquarters impact can be really quite substantial or not, but any bump would be really appreciated. We'll have a shock attack as well, which ideally gives us a benefit too, which it will do, well it should do anyway. Yeah, just ideally he just... if he makes any mistake, then it really could be fantastic. But I think the paratroopers will give him something to really think about. It'll make him concentrate on this entire area, but who knows what he could be thinking at that point. Yeah, definitely something to bear in mind. So we're going to have a shock attack over here then. Okay, so they're going to head out, I should say. Oh, I forgot about this force as well. So we have Tatsuta and Yabari, so we'd have additional destroyers and light cruisers, so that's very good news. Fast transport missions heading home. Okay, so we'll get that loaded back up in the near future. Okay. He does seem to be heavily focused on submarines in this area, which is a little bit annoying, so I would like to get some supply down there. But I'd like to get some troops down there. Worst case scenario, I'll just march them down there. It would be nice to have troops over here as well, actually, somewhere. All the supplies... actually, when is the supply? Oh, it's 12,000 tons there. I don't know why it's concentrating there. But I suppose it's not too bad. How you doing there, Carl? Good to have you, my friend. Right. These guys are in combat mode, that's good. Yeah, let's take a look at the APDs then. Okay, but that's not too bad. Not as much damage as feared. I do have a size 4 port here, so they are safe once they actually go... well, actually are in here. So I'll have them dock up. This is going to be their new home port for the time being. The APDs in this area have taken something of a beating, but it's not too bad. This is when I'm going to be looking towards next. I mean, that would be really fantastic. That would really give me a good solid position on the Java Sea there. Something to bear in mind. So to 652 guns of varying calibers there. We will be increasing there as time goes on. Yeah, 21st Division is going to be marching across. So they've just begun their march. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure what point of progress they were on. Right, I'm going to move a Southern Army over here. Not resources. Yeah, they've been moved. Right, move Southern Army. I'm not going to be able to load it all entirely, actually. Unless I do have some ships over here. I do, actually. I'll spread it out. Doesn't particularly matter. It's terribly much. Reallocate task force load. Yep, there we go. Have them dock up. And then we'll have them move into the area. I'll have them sent to Cotabato. It's actually the commander areas of the Southern Army. Yeah, it must be when it's unified, but we actually get to see that sort of information. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is have these bombers head south. You're lacking supply over there. I'll have them head to Cotabato for the time being. Okay. And we're going over here on the pilots. Okay, yep, they're gaining that, which is very nice. These are pretty damn good pilots. I mean, 70 there is exceptional. Is he the best? Yeah, indeed he is the best. Right, good, now moving in. I believe I did send some support assets that way. Can they rearm here, actually? 1-8. They'd have to double check if they could rearm the depth charges with that. Oh no, we actually do have them in here. Tenders, yeah, I thought I'd send some. That's good news. Load tender. Have you load that tender as well? There we go. And there we go. Should definitely be able to rearm. Even repair as well to some extent, which is good news. Excellent. I was quite happy to see that we didn't get intercepted by a submarine over here. That was very nice. What was the state of the casino? Load her tender. Need to really get her loaded up fully. Oh yeah, she's completely busy. Okay. Yeah, it's much decided on this area. But the good news is now with Balikpapan open to us, I could actually base aircraft out here, which is excellent news. But yeah, with the fall of Balikpapan, it's fantastic. It means that we will have supply generation out here. Fuel generation, importantly, as well. It's bringing about the close. The final fall of Borneo. I mean, Borneo's not exactly far from falling off, really. Which is going to be really nice. It's going to be very nice. We'll have to seriously take a look at then at crushing Java. It's going to be an interesting one. I will have to decide on how much force I will need for that. But Tan's going to take some time, I'd imagine, but he's going to be slowly starving to death. Singapore is obviously the priority above all, really. But we'll see. I'm not going to rush that one. We'll take it at the pace that it comes up, really. We do have additional engineers. I'm going to be heading to San Fernando, so we'll be able to get them moving out. That should be excellent. So what's the progress in the Congo? Why are you in critical? Okay. Yeah. Just put them in readiness for the time being. It's not going to make the difference. Just the fact that we do have these ships over here refitting, but I will. Okay. So I'll decide at some point in the near future then when we begin to send down the PBs. Well, the Oilers, I should say. But at least we do have a decent escort for them. I mean, like, the escorts are pretty damn good. I suppose I would have to split them up anyway. Probably, yeah, probably should have kept them separate considering the fact of this speed here. But for the time being, then just keep them as they are. There's no real big issue. I could have them disband into the port, and I might consider that. They're fully ready to go. I do have another oiler on the way. Yep, you're heading down here. She's a slow one, but at least we'd have a DMS, which is nice. At least that's a pretty decent escort. So I'm probably going to have the combined fleet. So they're going to make their way down south. So next turn they'll be around about there somewhere. Bang on, actually. So they'll be around about there-ish. So it's going to take about 3-4 days for them to get into proper positioning, really. I wouldn't go for Java before Palembang. Yeah, you join. Near Christmas Island, we detected 2 destroyers. There's 4 ships over there, but 2 destroyers. And then an AP, which is obviously a troop transport, a PT there as well. So, I'm going to just link it around the area. I don't exactly want to get in here and tangle with destroyers. We are out in deep ocean, but I really don't want to tangle destroyers. I don't really want to tip them off about anything over here, but we do have surface assets converging. Let's check on our signal intelligence. Yeah, heavy volume radar transmissions detected at Pearl Harbor. Xi'an. Xi'an's in China, obviously. Okay, I was wondering why we had detection over there, so that makes sense. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do at Nanyang, actually, but that's underway. That'll take a few days to arrive, but I'm looking forward to it. Need to sort these out at some point. Kandari. Yeah, Ambon can be captured. I could attack Ambon if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. Glad to have Sendai expand. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, very nice. Though actually, probably not the best. I have read something on the forum basically that a lot of people don't allow certain units to upgrade so that they can retain like old tanks basically. The reasoning being, well, it's better to have some tanks than to have no tanks when it comes to the defense of Japan. Okay. So we'll have Yunyo in just over a week. Never felt like I'd actually say that. The seaplane cruiser Nissan will be ready shortly as well. That's good. Akitsu will be ready soon enough. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to continue to bombard over here at Wankal. Moonlight still 0%. There's no rush when it comes to Wankal as such. I'm going to try to diminish the 100th to at least half its strength. Then we'd probably have a good chance. I mean, considering that this is wooded rough, which is ×3 defensive terrain. So if we take a look over here, so wooded rough. Yeah, ×3 defensive terrain. It's simply bloody not worth it. If I attack now, I'd still lose. Oh god, you gotta love that clear terrain. Clear terrain's obviously good as well over here. He does have the major road, so this is why we're going to be bombing him over here. Well, bombing him over here at Shangtan. On ground attack, obviously, the reason is just to try and cause some disruption, try and cause some fatigue. And just, if we could even slow him. I mean, if we slowed him by a mile and he did make it due to that mile, that'd be tremendous. But we'll see. The armor's on its way. This guy is on its way. The artillery is going to be sent north as well. I might even send that additional AV, considering that's 42. Do I need to garrison this position? I do, unfortunately. I may send it... something to take into consideration. No, I'll keep it there. If I send everything, then like might be lost, and I do need to garrison this. Don't use store old equipment. I'm not entirely certain. I think it does go into the actual stockpile, I'd imagine. But it's one of these things of if the unit table equipment have changed, then they won't use it. As far as I'm concerned. Well, as far as I'm aware, really. Could be wrong on that one. But so yeah, there we go. We're going to leave the turn here for tonight. I know I did start a little bit early, and I suppose it's probably a good thing. So I've started... Well, I'm finishing off where I would have been only 38 minutes in. God damn, I can't speak. Okay, additional forces moving there. That's good. So they're moving to the north to Lang Son. Well, they're moving to Hanoi, actually, to act as a garrison. Yeah, they're moving north to Hanoi as well. Righto. So they're moving 21st Independent Brigade. Obviously, they got a little bit beat up when they were kicked out of Nanyang. But the good news is, what is the road system here? It's major, so they will be in position here tomorrow. So at least he will see them on the door of Nanyang, so that's good news. Okay, it's going to be a very interesting situation in China in the near future, really. Very, very interesting. So I'm going to do here, then is save once again. Need to keep that one. I remembered why I didn't save over that one. Shouldn't have done that, so I'm going to... Nope, can't save it. Not going to even touch it. Okay, so I'm bugging it up. Don't want to do it. Right, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and call the stream to an end here. So, thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I do hope you have a fantastic evening and an even better day tomorrow. And of course, if you guys do feel like I've earned your pennies, then do consider becoming a patron of mine. It does make a really big difference. But yeah, there's a lot to consider here. Who knows how this moment might go, really. I think, above all, that could not have come at a better time. It's just... It's like a miracle, really. We're going to call it a Christmas miracle for the Japanese here, because that's simply what it is. It's completely changed the situation just entirely right now. Can't wait. Until next time, thank you for watching. See you next time.